All right. Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans. I look, the
Can't be
game
anything other than good.
that's not true. I have a complaint about yesterday's game. I do. It triggered my TMJ again. Somewhere between 49 and 56. I started feeling this jaw from all of the go, go, go.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's not bad, but I somewhere by like 63, I was like, go, go. I noticed it. Um, we'll start here. Do you agree with not going for the field goal at the end?
No,
Keeping it
no,
classy?
no, not at all.
Not at all.
No. Mike McDaniel was a ball boy for the Denver Broncos. Mike McDaniel was an assistant for the Denver Broncos. When Mike McDaniel was looking for a head coaching job and the Denver Broncos were looking for a head coach, he didn't even get an interview.
Really?
Fuck him. He should have thrown a bomb and gotten the yards and the points record. 77.
Oh my god.
He got
Yeah, man.
soft at the end.
I heard what he had to say, and I mean, I get it, but my I see both sides, but my contention is if that's Sean Payton, he's kicking that field goal.
Sean Payton's definitely kicking the field goal.
Sean Payton
Absolutely,
is
Sean
kicking.
Payton's kicking the
Sean
field goal.
Payton's throwing it into the end zone to 3 times. I was surprised they kept Russell Wilson out there as late as they did, to be honest.
I was surprised that Tua was out there as late as he was, if we're going to be honest. And I expressed it in the chat, especially when you know who showed up.
Yeah.
That was the cue. That was the signal. That was the dinner bell. Didn't get Tua out of there.
Get Tua the hell out of there. Yeah, what he's referring to is Liam Eichenberg is our backup center. The good news is after the game, they said Williams nothing to worry about, just more. It was kind of just more precautionary, and it was 100 degrees, and we had a 50-point lead, so that was he's fine. He should be okay.
Need him for Buffalo for sure.
Yeah. And look, this just speaks to the depth, and we knew we had depth, but that was Mike White out there to Robbie Chosen, who was only playing because Waddle was out. You just,
That's
I don't
the
know how
other
you.
thing.
Go ahead.
70 points without Waddle.
Yeah. And technically, A-Chain's like fourth on the depth chart, right?
It was.
Not anymore.
Ooh, sorry for Jeff Wilson.
He hits the hole so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I actually I'm not even making a joke. I do feel sorry for Jeff Wilson. You never should lose your job to injury. The whole Wally Pipp thing, it shouldn't happen.
Right.
But at the same time, we saw old boy Lou swing that bat, and we're not putting him back on the bench.
Yeah. That was. There's nothing to complain about. I mean, really,
they're too fast.
I know.
What are you gonna do? I don't want to start. I did text you a GIF of the Super Bowl Shuffle yesterday, but I really don't want to start doing a Super Bowl Shuffle already. But at the same time, I'm not the emotional one here. I'm not the Dolphin fan. I'm just sitting here looking at this who the hell is going to stop all the speed in Miami? Sure, of course. If somebody gets hurt, we know who I'm talking about when I say somebody. Yeah, that could all go into the shitter. But as long as everyone's healthy and upright, who's going to contain the speed?
Right. No, you can't.
How?
Right. I mean, it's a ridiculous track team, and that showed up yesterday. And what's scary is I don't suspect we'll score more than 70 points, but this is game 3. The dudes are just going to keep getting better, and if one guy, if Waddle's dinged up, sit down, don't worry about it. We got 5 more. If Mostert or A-Chain get a little ding, don't worry about it. Sit down. We got 4 more. But so it's just the health wise, instead of guys going out there, I can play, I can do it, coach. Don't worry. So,
Right.
come later on in the season, everybody can be fresh because nobody's really being forced. I mean, Eichenberg came in at center. Now, he didn't have good snaps, but I didn't realize Connor Williams was out of the game because I just thought that was I thought that was Williams.
I didn't realize until the announcer said it, but as soon as the announcer said it, I started freaking out. I saw the score. I said, get Tua out of there. Get him out of there right now. And it was, I think it was 2 series that was saying that in a row because he brought him back out again, and I started losing my shit again. Man.
Yeah.
If something had happened, bro, like, I remember when, it was a random ass one now that it's so long ago. I feel old, but when Tim Tebow was on the Gators, they were playing Kentucky one game, and he got lit up by one of the DNs on Kentucky and got knocked out of the rest of the game. Think about that. Gators were up by like 30 when that happened, and that really stuck out. Like, why was he out there still?
Yeah.
And he ended up being okay. He was only knocked out for the rest of the game, but they were up by so much, and that is immediately what I thought of. Like, when he was still out there, I'm like, if Tua gets hurt, all that's going to be talked about is how much the Dolphins were up by when Tua got hurt.
Right. Yeah.
But it's okay. It was just the thought. Like, you remember Doug, the cartoon on Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
he would always think of the worst case scenario immediately. Like, that's what that's my little Doug funny worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And it worked out. It's okay.
It
like Doug, it usually worked out for Doug.
It worked out. So A-Chain over 200 yards. Mostert, I think 4 touchdowns for Mostert, 3 for A-Chain.
No, they both had the Al Bundy, I think. They both had 4.
They both had – so wow, that's right.
They both had receiving and rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, because A-Chain had those 2, that shovel pass.
They did that twice.
Yeah. Now, what I want to find out is because, okay, we did that shovel pass twice, right? So now Buffalo's going to be ready for that. So what I'm interested to see is what play McDaniel's going to come up with that fakes that shovel pass, and then Tua throws it to who? I want to see because Buffalo's going to be ready for that. We did it twice.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you bite on that, I mean, I'm sure Tyreek's going to be just streaking up. I mean, if it's close like that, you can't do that. But he could be streaking across. I mean, there's a few things you could do. At the same time, though, you might know that the pitcher's throwing 102, but he's throwing 102. I mean, you can know it the whole time, but you're going to have to still make contact. So I don't know. I don't know. They're so damn fast. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it.
I know. And Chris Brooks, the other rookie, was out there, and he almost made it 77. And did you see Tua on the sideline jumping up and down?
I didn't.
So it was on that last drive, and Brooks, like I said, he came in and he had a long run, and they showed Tua because it looked for a minute like Brooks was going to score, and they showed a clip of Tua, and he was holding on to some other guy, and he was just like jumping up and down like a kid on Christmas, hoping Brooks was going to get a touchdown.
Yeah, see, they wanted the 77. The team wanted the 77. Come on, Mike.
Come on. Well, yeah.
Do something for yourself. They didn't let you have an interview.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Yeah. But look, Sanders would have missed anyway, man.
What happened?
I said Sanders would have missed anyway.
You said Sanders. I was thinking Dion because of being a Colorado team.
No, Sanders. Mike saved him the embarrassment of being the guy that missed the field goal that would have given the team the record.
The Dion fanboy and me got offended for something. Like, what'd you just say? The funny thing about that, and since we're going down this path already, we actually did what the Oregon coach said he was going to do to Colorado. Remember, it was 35-0 going to halftime in the Colorado game.
Right.
And they stopped the Oregon coach on the sideline, and they're asking whatever questions. And he said, everyone who is watching Colorado every week, I hope you watch the second half because we're not letting up. And then the second half ended up being 7-6 Oregon.
Right.
Dolphins went right back out there, put the same 35 points up they put up in the first half, allowed less points than they did in the first half.
Yep.
Like, they actually did that. Like, it was a bad sports weekend for if you're a Colorado football fan.
Yeah.
Talking about as college and pro.
Yeah. Now the one good thing that came out of this is they do have something. When you win by 50, usually there's not something you can talk about. You need to work on. But they allowed that kickoff return for a touchdown, so that gives them something to at least coach from. You know what I mean?
Right. That gives
how are you going to coach Tua this week? Right? Tua's be like, bitch, I had more touchdowns than interceptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't complain about anything in the run game. You can't complain about anything on the offensive line, which we're going to have to say it every week. Let's keep saying it every week. The offensive line has been fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Tua has been fantastic getting rid of the ball. I'm just going to keep saying it. Put your kids in martial arts. You are seeing the benefits of it out on the football field.
Which, by the way, Smythe, on the first drive, if you go back and watch the highlight, I should have cut a clip of this, but I'd have to find the highlight. Smythe catches a pass and he gets his legs knocked out from under him. So he does a full judo rollout with the ball tucked and the arm. I mean, it was a perfect. If you were taking your black belt test, and the first thing is, all right, let's get your rollouts out the way. It was perfect. It was beautiful. So I don't know if that was related, if Tua was up to the side showing guys, hey, look, when you fall, this is what you do, because it was a beautiful rollout that he did. But
like I said, they were talking about it on McAfee. At the very least, the whole quarterback room is doing jiu-jitsu with Tua. So I guess that's Mike White and Skylar Thompson are doing it along with Tua. I wouldn't be surprised if other people on the team are doing it, especially if by the sound of all of that, the team is providing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're bringing the coach there or at the very least the team's paying it on their dime. Either way, like if the team's providing it, why not?
Yeah, why not? No, the dude looks straight up perfect. Now,
it's good bonding activity for team chemistry too.
Yeah, absolutely. But now, Buffalo.
That's your black belt test.
At Buffalo. That's the black belt test. That is, because, like I said in a recap yesterday, we are 3-0. We're the only undefeated team in the AFC. We just won a game by 50 points. But if we lose to Buffalo on Sunday, we ain't even in first place anymore.
No.
Okay. And as a 52-year-old Dolphin fan, I can't count how many times we was in first place and then we played Buffalo and then we wasn't in first place anymore. So
you also can't count how many times they scored 70 points.
I can count how many times we got 62 scored on us. No. Yeah, it was 62-10 Marino's last game.
No, that was in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Jacksonville lost to the Texans.
I don't know look, everybody's bracket is busted, man. Okay. I mean, Packers came back and won that game after looked like they were going to get shut out. All of a sudden they're ahead 18-17. Jacksonville not looking good. Seattle did look, I mean, the Colts are in first place. They beat the Ravens. Everybody in this neighborhood's going to be pissy mood. I'm glad I don't go near people.
I neither wanted to jinx it or get blamed if we ended up losing, but I took the Dolphins in the survivor pool that I'm in because we were talking about leading up to it, but it's Miami in September. That might be the best home advantage in sports.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then the Broncos very famously come from the Mile High City, and they kind of stink. So all that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins in the survivor pool, and didn't
Yeah.
really think anything of it until the game was about to start, and I go, don't tell Jaws that you took the Dolphins in the survivor pool because you know how he is with his superstitions, and if anything happens in this game, you are going to get blamed for it. So I kept my mouth shut. We scored 70 points, and I'm like, all right, let's see if the Cowboys can lose. And they sure did.
And they sure as
Knocked
hell
the
did.
people out of the pool.
Yeah, man. Look, that stadium there, I mean, Kyle marvels at it. If you look at it when they do the aerial shots, it's like it's a soup bowl in the middle of the swamp. I mean, the way the thing is built, and you got just this little hole from here, from watching it on TV, you can look at that stadium and start sweating. You can see the humidity.
I actually was laughing a little inside when you said Kyle marvels at it. And it's like nothing against Kyle or anything like that. It's just, I've been there, and it's like, sure, it might be pretty. Sure, it might be the stadium for your team, but I don't get no fuzzy feelings for it other than I'm going to need to bring an extra shirt.
Well, yeah.
Those are the feelings I get when I see that stadium.
What he marvels at is the foresight with the design to leave us in the shade and the opponents in the sun.
That was pretty gangster.
Yeah.
I never knew about that until Bills fans complained so much about that last year.
Yeah. That's the look, you win some, you lose some with Stephen Ross as your owner. You know what I mean? I could just see him now. Fry those schmucks, just cook them.
Man.
Yeah.
Win some, lose some with Stephen Ross. Now you see why we tanked for Tua? Yeah. Speaking of win some, lose some. That's why we tanked for Tua.
Yeah. When we've got the Super Bowl trophy, that's what Ross should be. He said, now you know why I was trying to pay Flores to lose games, right?
Man, you see all these quarterbacks now. Every time I was thinking about that when that happened too. I was thinking about Arch Manning at the time when it happened, but now like you have Shador, you have Caleb Williams, like any of these teams that are tanking, I've already seen like stink for Shador hashtags, and it's just like, oh yeah, there's only the Dolphins that do that, huh?
Yeah.
Like at the time, because Arch was still in high school when this was happening with the Dolphins, and he was right here in New Orleans, so it was sticking out in my mind. But I was like, there's going to be 6 or 7 teams doing what the Dolphins did for Arch Manning, and the NFL is not going to say shit. But them be the breaks.
Exactly. So 3-0, only undefeated team left in the AFC. Kansas City looks like they've kind of righted the ship a little bit, but it's really early to say this. But we kind of do have the path to the top seed in the AFC in our hands. Now, it's not easy, but we play the Chiefs, we play the Bills twice, and we play the Ravens. And I can't think of anybody else that's going to be competing for that top seed. I don't suspect the Colts are going to keep going, and the Jaguars are struggling.
Well, Baltimore has the same Achilles heel that the Dolphins have, which is the health of the starting quarterback. I think everybody who's non-Miami or non-Baltimore fan looks at both of those quarterback situations the same exact way. It's great as long as they're upright, but they don't expect either of those dudes to stay upright. Kansas City might get blown up from within. We might have to thank Taylor Swift by the end of all this, because if she pulls a Jessica Simpson and destroys everything like Jessica Simpson did with the Cowboys, that would be fantastic. Which leaves us with Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. And what I keep getting is this flashback to a memory I have. And this would have been 1992. Would have been 92 or 93, but before Marino busted the Achilles. There probably still have a festival down there in Hollywood, Florida, called the Y100 Wing Ding. And it used to be held at Young Circle Park in the middle of Hollywood. Those of you who live down there, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it was Y100 and the DJs, and they'd have concerts. They had Gloria Stefan and John Cicada, and all the local celebrities would come up, and it was the giant wing festival. And I just remember 2 years in a row. So this probably could have been 91, 90, whatever the hell it was. 2 years in a row, Marino showing up at the wing ding. And the only thing anybody wanted to know was, are you going to beat Buffalo this year? Because we got to beat the Bills. And I just remember Marino both years, we're going to do it. I mean, just he was full of confidence about how we were finally going to take down Buffalo. It never happened. It did not happen both times.
I mean, they beat Buffalo last year in the regular season, and famously,
At
Bills
home.
fans blamed the weather for it.
Yeah.
And shit, I mean, they were a field goal away from almost losing it at home.
Right.
They were almost a field goal away from that new stadium needing to be a dome.
Yeah.
Because if you talked all that noise about losing in the heat and you lost in the cold, you were going to have to build a dome. You were going to have to build a dome.
Right. Well, both teams now get the easy way out this year because we get at Buffalo in September and they get at Florida. I think it's in December, honestly. So that worked. No AFC East teams got the 1:00 September games here in Florida. But you beat Buffalo 4-0, which is nice. The 4-0 part is nice, but already would have knocked out 3 of your 4 toughest road games and be undefeated. Right. And that's where you can start looking at the schedule. You beat Buffalo, now you can start looking at the schedule, and that's when you can really start thinking about, okay, we might get that top seed because there's light years difference. There's not enough infinite light years difference between January and going to Kansas City, Baltimore, or Buffalo, or them coming to Miami. You can't quantify the difference between those two because it's still going to be 80 degrees in January in Miami.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just staying away from those colder environments. But the schedule is what makes me not so worried about Buffalo, if that makes sense. Maybe that's not the right phrasing, but even if the Dolphins lose to Buffalo, it's like, okay, we get right back on the schedule, and it's what, Carolina, then the Giants, then some other jabroni, and then the Chiefs. Like, I know, like, it sounds bad. It sounds sacrilege. It sounds like you're not a true Dolphin fan. It's really not a big deal if they lose to Buffalo. They're going to go right back and win 3 more games in a row, and then they're going to be playing Kansas City. Like, if you're 7-1 going into Kansas City, you're not going to be too pressed that 1 loss was Buffalo. It's going to be one of those things that hurts in the moment.
Yeah. No, look, if you want top seed, you got to at least split with Buffalo. So if you lose, you got to
for sure.
At least, but you got to beat Baltimore and you got to beat Kansas City. And that's we had. So the point is that you're right, but it's in our hands. You know what I mean? Now the Kansas City game, that's that Germany thing, man. I mean, we kind of get up early and watch.
That is in Germany. That's
it's in Germany. It's a road game. It's technically a home game for Kansas City, so they're the ones that got screwed.
I bet Taylor's going to that game,
right?
Oh, but yeah, man, that means Travis Kelce's going to be preoccupied. He's going to be having to do the whole European vacation thing. Oh, look, kids, Big Ben. He's going to be having to do all that shit. Oh, this could work out in our favor.
Yeah. Well, we could keep hoping, right? So that's it, man. Short and sweet this morning. 70 freaking points. 70. I have a feeling, though, I will say this. I have a feeling that somebody is going to need to score 40 to win the Buffalo-Miami game because our defense has been good, but there's some they're perfectly capable of giving up touchdown drives. We'll put it that way. You know what I mean? When the push comes to the shove and they really need to tighten down, they do. But in the interim, they're perfectly capable of, Buffalo staying in the game. And
I think the same can be said about Buffalo's defense. Like, Buffalo has some dudes on defense. Buffalo can do what they did to guys like Sam Howell yesterday. But do I trust them against the Miami offense? Not really. And that's how I feel about the Dolphins defense. Like, yeah, they can make some stops. Yeah, they got some dudes. Do I trust them against the Bills offense? Not really.
Not really. Right. Yeah.
Which means it's going to be a 17-14 game, of course.
Shit. 45-44 Dolphins. All right. All Allen has to do is they got the ball left with a minute and a half. All he's got to do is go down the field and kick a field goal. And on third down, when they're trying to take the knee to set up the field goal positioning, Allen's going to drop the snap. Wilkins will recover, and we win the game.
I hope so. I will go, since I already went down this path, I'm not going to go 17-14. That would be ridiculous. Now watch it be that.
Yeah.
I'll go 27-20 Bills.
Two
reasons.
Remove from stream.
Well, two reasons. One, to look good if I get it right. It always looks good to be right. Yeah. But I'm wrong a lot.
Okay.
And I'll be wrong about this too. One of the radio stations I used to work at, we had a segment called Fade Trey, where I would do picks. It was a handicapping thing, but obviously with the title, the idea was to fade all my picks, and you might make some money this year. So yeah, Fade Trey, Bills by 7. We'll see what happens.
That sounds good. All right, everybody. That's gonna do it. I'm gonna be like, since last night, every once in a while, I'm just walking around going 70. I still can't get over it. Unbelievable.
Oh, before we end this, did you see Sean Payton in his press conference?
No, I did not.
Please go watch that, because you will end up making a video about it.
Okay.
Sean Payton was broken by the Dolphins. And you know how like something else is bothering you, but you might snap at your kid or snap at your friend. It's not them that did it, but they're the one who got it. That's what Peyton did to the reporter.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out for sure. Yep. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And not sure if I'll be back later to do the Panther games or not, but Trey and I will see you next week.
Go Dolphins.